We know why they created the HBCUs in the first place. It was because they wouldn't allow us into the white institutions. And so now they're not allowing us in. And now they're saying, you know what, we're also going to defund the HBCUs. You know why? Because they don't want any more Kamala Harrises. They don't want any more Jasmine Crockett's. But I got news for them. I don't care what they do. We will fight to the end to make sure that we get our due.
Jasmine Crockett, you lost your mind, sis.
I am tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. When I walk into Congress every single day, you know why I don't feel away and why you can't make me doubt who I am? Is because I know that I had to work 10 times as hard as they did just to get into the seat. When you look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. And that is the life that we have always lived. So the only people that are crying are the mediocre white boys that have been beaten out by people that historically have had to work so much harder. This is why they don't want us to have education. This is why they are trying to literally say we won't fund the HBCUs, because they know that if they've already gone after affirmative action and they're saying, you know what, don't allow them to come into, say, these PWIs, as we call them, don't allow them to come into these institutions. We know why they created the HBCUs in the first place. It was because they wouldn't allow us into the white institutions. And so now they're not allowing us in. And now they're saying, you know what, we're also going to defund the HBCUs. You know why? Because they don't want any more Kamala Harrises. They don't want any more Jasmine Crockett's. But I got news for them. I don't care what they do. We will fight to the end to make sure that we get our due. Because again, if you want to talk about the people that shouldn't be in this country, you probably need to look in the mirror, because the last time I checked, the Native Americans who Summer ICE have been rounding up, or the Puerto Ricans who are absolutely Americans, listen, the only people that came and colonized this place are your ancestors, Trump.
Please let me know in the comments if you agree with what she just now said. Put a 100 inside the comment if you agree with what Jasmine Crockett just now said about you white people who have destroyed this nation. If you don't agree, put a thumbs down for me. Put a thumbs down. Just let me know. Jasmine Crockett, you lost your damn mind, sis. Now, she says that she had to work 10 times as hard than the Lauren Boeberts and the Marjorie Taylor Greenes in order to get the seat that she got. And that now you white people want to take money away from the HBCUs so that there will never be another Kamala Harris, because y'all are so afraid of Kamala because she's so bad. She's so good. Good as in bad. Bad as in, y'all know what I'm talking about. All right. And y'all also, you white people, you white devils, y'all are the reason why y'all are not putting no money into HBCUs, because y'all don't want to see no more Jasmine Crockett's. That's what y'all problem is. Y'all hating on her. Is that what it is? Huh? Is that what it is? Let me tell you something, Jasmine Crockett. Now, history will always be that. But at some point, we got to take accountability for ourselves. Black people have gone as far as Black people can go based off of our own hustle, our own grind, our own mindset, our own merit. But we also use certain government programs in order to help us move forward. We've had access to these programs for a long time, but we're always complaining about nobody's doing anything for the Black people. Nobody's doing anything for HBCUs. When Trump became the president in his first term, word on the street is he gave more to HBCUs than any other president before him. If I'm wrong, please correct me on that. As a matter of fact, y'all can correct me in real time if I'm wrong. As a matter of fact, also, he gave more money to the HBCUs than the first Black president, Barack Obama, who I voted for. But that still wasn't enough. And then during the Biden-Kamala administration, Black people were backdoored so much money through contracts, through business deals, through Black Lives Matter, through LGBTQAI+, you name it. But that still wasn't enough. It became DEI this, race that, black this, white that. So now you have a president that's tired of the sugar honey iced tea. He don't want to hear that no more. He's done with it. And he's saying, okay, since y'all are so much better, and you're so much more deserving, and you can do more than white people, and you don't need the government anymore, and you don't need the white man, and racism and white supremacy is the worst thing ever that ever happened to Black America, guess what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and remove any race-driven programs out of the government. Now, you can be as great as you say that you are. You can go as hard as you claim you can go. You can be the phenomenal Black race that you've always been, that far surpasses anything that the whites have ever produced. Feel free, have at it, go forth, multiply, do what you do. We're moving out the way. And now, being so strong and so quick and so smart, so driven, now we want to cry that they don't want to help anymore. You're confusing me. We have been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from zero to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have, trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing, we have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace. Even if I wanted to get out there and hold up my picket sign and march for the Blacks, I don't even know what we stand for anymore. It's like y'all continue to move the goalposts. Kamala clearly said, I am not doing anything specifically for Black people. But then she goes back and gives upwards of $40 billion to the Asian Pacific community. Ilhan Omar, she's only here in her position, her American position, being paid by American taxpayers, and she's funding $2 billion back to Somalia, and she's doing nothing for American citizens. Please make this make sense. Why do we always want to compare ourselves to the whites? Why do we always want to do that? We always want to go way back in history and say, we built this country. We were the first ones here. You're taking advantage of us. We want our due. What are we due? That's what I want to know. Exactly what are we due? What do they owe us? What do they owe you that you haven't collected already? Clearly, you're doing well in life. You got on designer everything, including but not limited to the wig. I'm certain that's a designer wig you got on, because it looks fly, it looked clean, it looked expensive. I thought it was real until somebody told me different. And I ain't knocking you. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Pants expensive, belt expensive. Like, you wearing the brands, you showing us that you got it. If you wanted to do more for your community, you could have. You can live according to your means. You can live below your means if you want to. And you can do a lot more for the community that you claim to be disenfranchised, underrepresented, if that's what you really want to do. But you don't want that. What you want to do is stunt on people. That's what you want to do. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. If you want to really keep it a buck, we are the biggest issue to the Black community. Who is killing Blacks? I'll answer that. It's Black people. Where do we get this attitude of, or this mindset that we should blow all of our money on nice looking clothes and cars? That comes from Black culture. That's something that We started. Our ancestors wasn't about that life. That was us who make music about killing each other. And the more we talk about killing and the more we talk about drug dealing, the more famous we become, the richer we become. Us. Is this moving forward at all? And I'm sure you love it. I'm sure you be driving in your brand new, whatever it is, leaning. You know, I'm sure it's pretty and plush. I'm sure you got the nicest, most expensive things in your house. And I'm not going to tax you on how much money you're giving back to the community or the HBCU or any of that. That's not my business. But what you're failing to like put out there to the people, because I'm sure you understand this, is our responsibility to lift up whatever groups that we want to lift up according to our own blessings that we receive, according to our own works that we put in. It's not the government's job. Do you understand that? I got to work 10 times as hard. You owe me. Don't nobody owe you. No one. You're grown. You're the only one that owe you anything. Do you understand that? And now you're constantly blaming things on the one person that's trying to clean this country up. Makes no sense to me. That just shows how immature you are. And you want to keep the party going. That shows me that you really enjoyed the last 4 years. And if that is the case, then that just shows again how ridiculous you are. There's nothing about the last 4 years that I want to brag about, including but not limited to Kamala Harris. I've seen her interviews. She don't represent me. I've seen her speeches. I'm not impressed. What she has done in her life, absolutely dope. She was a lawyer. She became vice president. Her resume is padded. Kudos to her. She did that. She worked for that. Well, she worked for everything else but the vice presidency. When people call her a DEI hire as it pertains to vice president, they're right. She was only picked because of her complexion and her sex. And you know that. Come on now. We're doing ourselves a disservice by lying and constantly pointing the finger at other people. I do realize that this is a conversation that we should probably have in private and not in front of the white people. But you started it. Every single opportunity you get, you want to bring up race. You want to talk about racism and white supremacists and all this other stuff. People that been holding us down for a long time and we couldn't do anything. And now they're trying to take money away from us and they're trying to do this. There are consequences for that mouth that you have, for those actions that you've taken. The last 4 years was blatant disregard to anything responsible in running a nation. And now the chickens have come home to roost. We have an actual adult in the Oval Office, and there are going to be some checks and balances. This is what happens. One day, if you have children, I don't know, maybe you have children already, but I'm certain you're not going to fill them up with a whole bunch of excuses so that they can be able to point at other things so that they are not held responsible for their own actions. The same way your dad did to you. You couldn't blame not doing your homework or projects for school on the white man or the white teacher or the black teacher. You had to do it, and you had to do it at a high level because that was expected of you in your household, being that your father was actually a judge and you are also a lawyer. You followed in his footsteps. You're already blessed. Why in the hell are you on CNN complaining as if you're not? That's the problem right there. That's why I always tell people that all of these complainers, they do not believe in God, man. And Biden, the way that he raised his family and the way that he moves, he clearly does not believe in God either. And Kamala, come on, bro. All of the stuff that they try to push on our kids, none of you believe in God. Not saying that I want to push that on you because what you believe is what you believe. All I'm saying is that this complaining spirit that you have from somebody that don't appreciate the blessings that they have, don't appreciate how far we've come as a nation, how far we've come as a people. Happy Black History Month and all that. But come on now, we got to actually discuss what's important and constantly blaming the white man. That's going to do us a disservice.